Are you tired of always having the same weapons? Do you wish that you could change things up in a cool and interesting way? Well, then I think I have the add-on for you guys. With that add-on being the one and only Loadout progression system. It's a really cool mod made by the same creator of the amazing Wanted system that we took a look at a little while ago. Really did love that mod. But I also do want to talk about the elephant in the room. Some of you might be wondering, Necros, what happened to that video that you uploaded on Friday? And I'm just going to keep it straight with y'all. I was not happy with the quality of that video. The actual presentation portion was fine. It was more about the dialogue where I discussed the drama with the beat run add-on, and apparently I got quite a bit of things wrong with that. I'm gonna be honest, I heard a lot of different things from a lot of different places, and I couldn't pinpoint where everything was coming from. I didn't do as much research as I should have, and I do apologize for that. I do like to uphold some form of quality on this channel, and the amount of misinformation in Friday's video was just too great, so I took the video down, and apparently the add-on was also uploaded by someone who didn't even do any of the changes, and I also messed up on that. In fact, the creator of those changes commented on my video and told me about it, and I really did feel horrible because I don't like to misrepresent the truth or accidentally credit someone who didn't do anything, so I apologize for that. Now let's get back onto the video. So for this add-on, it is very simple, and it acts a lot like a roguelike system, or just some kind of natural progression to your typical Garry's mod. So you're going to find that it all begins where you end. When you die and you come back, you're going to be greeted by this amazing menu that gives you a loadout menu and a points menu. Now, first things first, this is what you get. You get a pistol, you get a crowbar, and you're going to notice your worth. This is your currency you can use to choose what you want to have in this loadout. You can also go over here to adjust your health, and you're going to notice as I increase my health here, well, we can't because we have to go beyond that limit. But what about our shields? You can see our shields or suit. It's about 5 worth per 5 points of shield, so a 1-to-1 ratio there, and we can just kind of pump our shields up, or we can give ourselves more magazines. And once you are satisfied with everything you have, you can see we have no more points, you can check out, and you will then only spawn with those items in your loadout. So you can see we have quite a few magazines for our pistol here, and we also have our shield that we did buy. And you might be thinking, alright Necros, that's cool and everything, but how do we get points? And you get points by simply shooting and killing NPCs. You can see there we got 1 point. Now you get 1 point for every 100 damage you've done, and you get another point for actually taking out the NPC. You can see the number that did fly up there did indicate that 1 point. Odessa has 40 health, which means this Odessa should also give us 1 more point. Oh, it gave us 2 because, well, we killed another Odessa off screen. 20 of that 40 rolls over into the next. Pretty much what I'm saying is when you kill 3 Odessas, you should get 4 points, because you'll get that final point that rolls over, and then the next time you'll only need to kill 2 to get back at that 100. We don't do math on this channel. What we're going to instead focus on is what do you use those points on, because, well, as you'll find out, it's not going to be related to our worth. There is an entirely different panel here, and this is where you can unlock everything. So you can see a bunch of the weapons. Now the prices can apparently fluctuate too, so do keep that in mind. You can also choose to go for maximum health upgrades or maximum armor upgrades, or even increase your worth by 10 points, which will give you more for your starting loadout. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go for the SMG, but we cannot. We need more points. So for now, let's go ahead and give us this. Use as much of our worth as we can, since you always start out with your typical maximum amount, which in this case is 100. And what do you say we fight some Combine? Now, it's very important to note that you can still pick up weapons from enemies. However, you're going to notice something interesting. There's no number that pops up because you only get points for the weapons that you have unlocked. So do be mindful of that any kills or damage you do with weapons you don't have unlocked, it's not going to add to your point total, and that's going to be very punishing when you're trying to increase your loadout options. Now, it's very important to note that your loadout might be temporary, but everything you unlock in the point system is going to be permanent. Go ahead and just unalive ourselves for a moment. you can see we are greeted once again with this menu, which, by the way, you can only access every spawn. You can close it if you want, and you'll have all your weapons like normal. So that means that if you choose not to opt in to using this system, you don't have to. You can simply close that menu down and just pretty much play Garry's mod like normal. Alright, so we are on the Heist map, one of my favorite maps to test out, well, things like this. And this is the perfect add-on for what this map is. So again, very important to keep in mind, you have to actually use the weapons that you have unlocked. So this shotgun we picked up is not going to help us. Now I do want to thank WBlack57 for suggesting this add-on, who is also the creator, and I am a big fan of yours, so it's an honor to do this video. So I went ahead and got my loadout done. Let's go ahead and see how good we can do. Now again, making it through in your first go is not the main mission. You kind of want to die pretty often, so you can actually spend your points on upgrades to come back better, which again is where that roguelike system really comes into play. Now I'm taking quite a bit of damage here, and obviously other certain mods can make this a bit easier on you, like the regenerating health and shield mod. I have disabled that for this video though, just to make it fair. And we're kind of getting wrecked, and we are dead. You can see now I have 229 points. That means we can unlock the SMG, which is 225, or we could even go for the shotgun. Well, not quite. You see, even though the system is kind of randomized in a way, it kind of makes sense. The crossbow here, 420 points, nice, but also really expensive considering we only have 229. And remember that you do start out with 200 points to spend, so we've only gained about 29 points or so, and I'm going to go ahead and go with the SMG. But once you do that, now in our loadout, it is always going to be an option, and it takes about 50 worth, which is a lot. Again, when we get enough points, we can increase that worth, but we can also choose to increase our magazines, or we can choose to give us more secondary ammo, which of course, in this case, is the SMG grenade. I'm going to go ahead and give me the pistol, which is another couple of points, and I'm going to give me some shield, and see how this works out. Now we have some higher firepower. We should be able to go in and get even further. Now, you could reset the map if you want. That would probably make it a lot more fair. But as we can kind of see, this is a pretty difficult map. Lots of NPCs, and they really like to fire at you. Now, again, trying to fight the urge of using their own weapons so we actually get points is pretty difficult. But I think you'll find that once you get the right upgrades, you won't need to really worry about picking them up anymore. Now obviously this does make the game more difficult, and it doesn't need to be this way since you could just, well, spawn in with all your weapons. But that's kind of the fun part, is giving yourself a challenge by putting this restriction on you to make it feel more like those roguelike games, and to actually give Garry's mod a sense of progression. So because of that alone, I am a huge fan of this mod. But what do you guys think down below? Would you use a mod like this? And if so, how would you use it? But I also want to recommend by saying you can use the same creator's wanted system mod in conjunction with this, and I think it would work pretty damn well. But as always, you guys are the ultimate judge. Leave a like, subscribe if you want. All the links will be down in the description. And I want to thank you all so much for watching this until the end. Until next time, thanks for watching, and farewell.